Good morning everybody, my name's Emily and I'm back in my happy place now. It's nice and sunny here this morning. I hope wherever you are practicing you are nice and set up with your space. I've got a power flow for you this week and we're going to be exploring a few different binds. So mostly hand binds today, and they're a really good way to sort of change up your practice and change your experience in poses that you might start to be getting a little bit comfortable in. So they're really good for exploring a little bit of curiosity throughout your practice, exploring alignment, and there's always an option to do a half bind or a full bind because sometimes our bodies are just not ready to move into that space either, so just be really mindful of that as well when you're practicing. We are going to start in a nice comfortable seated position, and I forgot to mention as well, which I will grab, we're going to be using a strap to warm up with. If you don't have a strap, a towel is fine, so feel free to pause the video, grab what you need. If you don't have a towel or a strap, don't stress too much. I can always offer options for anything without. So we're going to come into a nice comfortable seated position. I'm going to face you side on here. Sitting on the heels, if that's not comfortable, just pop a cushion in between your heels and your glutes. Starting to just close the eyes down. The palms can be resting down or up on the thighs. And just feel a gentle lengthening of the spine as it grows tall. Feel your shoulders start to melt away from your ears. And just give ourselves these few moments to really ground ourselves into this practice today. Drawing awareness to our shoulders as they gently peel open, drawing the collarbones nice and wide. Can you feel the shoulder blades start to draw together? And a gentle lengthening of the sides of the neck. And starting to feel into your belly here. And gentle drawing of the belly button to the spine, and allowing us to feel the spine to grow a little bit taller from that space of engagement through the core. And starting to deepen the breath here. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Seeing if we can lengthen the exhale so it is longer than the inhale. With each breath in, can we feel a sense of expansion? With each breath out, long, slow exhale, that sense of grounding down into the mat. Keep continuing on this deep breath. If you want to explore Ujjayi breath, slight constriction through the back of the throat as you exhale through the nose. Like you're fogging up a mirror, but your mouth is closed. Take 3 more rounds of breath here. Seeing if we can feel the expansion of the chest of the torso. And a gentle growing of the spine as we lengthen tall. Slowly start to blink the eyes open here. And we're just going to start by reaching your right arm up towards the sky, bending at the elbow, and then catching your elbow with your left hand. You can either choose to stay here if you don't have a strap, or if this is enough of a stretch through your shoulder, or if you have a strap or perhaps you want to play with a bind without, reach your left arm out to the side, flip your palm so it's facing the back wall, and see if you can place the palm of the hand so the fingers meet in the middle of the scapula or the shoulder blades. If your fingers don't quite reach, you can grab onto a strap or a towel. See if you can hold on to the towel strap instead. So you keep pulling your right elbow up to the sky, and your left elbow is drawing down towards the spine, the center of the body. Take another full breath in. Full breath out. One more round here. Full breath out. Slowly releasing the bind. Switching sides, starting with the left arm reaching up, and then just cupping the left elbow as you bend the left elbow. And the palm is reaching for the center of the shoulder blades. And just nestling behind the neck. And then either holding here or using a strap or a towel, holding on to fingers or props. And breathing a bit of space into the chest. And keeping a gentle engagement of the belly to keep the spine growing tall rather than billowing out through the lower back. Taking another full breath in. Full breath out. And we're always working with the breath in our yoga practice. And then we're going to grab our strap or towel. Just bring it nice and wide. So about a little bit wider than shoulder distance, and then you can play with the width depending on how you feel in the shoulders today. So as you inhale, we're just going to reach the arms up. Perhaps you've got the range of motion to reach up and back. Hold where you find a stretch. And then exhale, bring it back down. See if we can find nice fluidity, keeping tension on that towel or that strap the whole way through. Inhale, reaching up. Hold to that point where we find feedback. Stretch through the front of the shoulders. And then exhale, bringing it back down. One more round. Nice and fluid, keeping tension on your towel or strap. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hold for a breath or two here. There's a bit of a stretch through the forearm, through the shoulders. And then exhale, nice and slow, keeping that tension. Keep pulling the arms away from one another, coming back down. Beautiful. Shake out the wrists a little bit. You can interlace the fingers and just circle the wrists around. Coming back around the other way. And then just a few little shoulder rolls, rolling them all the way up to your ears and then back and down the back body. And then from here, we're going to get straight into a nice little child's pose. I'm going to come down knees wide, toes together. You can wiggle out the hips a bit if your toes have fallen to sleep like mine. Coming down just for a moment, stretch the fingertips out long. And then from here, you're going to find a nice bind, so interlacing the fingers at the back of the tailbone. In fact, walk the knees just a little bit further underneath you. And then slowly, slowly, nice and light, you're going to roll onto the crown of the head, but not too much weight is coming through the neck. So we're keeping our legs nice and active as we allow our head, neck and shoulders to our hands to fall over towards the front of the mat. And when we have this interlaced bind, the idea is to try and keep the wrists drawing together, so that will intensify the stretch. And keeping the belly engaged, the legs engaged, nice and light on the crown of the head. One more full breath in. Full breath out. Beautiful. Slowly coming back up, releasing the bind. Walk the hands out in front, tuck the toes, send it back to a downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet here. Making sure the hands are shoulder width distance and grounding the knuckles into the mat. You want your forefinger and your thumb to create a nice L shape pressing into the mat. Your thumbs are drawing towards one another without actually moving the hands. And then from here, slowly look between your hands. Big rise up onto the tippy toes. Bend the knees. Hug the belly in and step forward to the front of the mat, or a float if you're feeling energetic. Halfway lift for an inhale. Exhale, feet are hip width distance, and we're coming to ragdoll. So you can grab onto the elbows. You can sway from side to side. And the other option here is to just come to your ragdoll bind, but instead your elbows are at the backs of the legs. So you're encouraging a little bit more connection belly to thigh, perhaps a bit of a straightening through the back of the legs. And just seeing how this feels. If this is a bit strong, you can also grab onto your ankles from behind. So you're hugging the heels with your fingers. Releasing the head, neck, shoulders, whichever bind you've chosen. And again, this practice is about a bit of curiosity, a bit of exploring. So maybe we're trying something that we haven't tried before, or something that we don't normally do. Noticing our habits even in our yoga practice. Releasing your bind on your inhale. Come to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, start to roll all the way up. Feel the spine stacking. Roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Press the heels into the mat, and the knuckles draw down towards the earth, towards the heels as you puff the chest up. As we exhale, leading with the chest, slight bend through the knees, fold forward. Uttanasana with a bind. And again, exploring that bind, see if you can draw those wrists together. A little bit more engagement through the arm bones. Releasing the bind down, inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, step it back to a high plank position. And for this first round, we're all going to drop to the knees, keeping the belly wrapped in. Come forward over the fingertips, feel the hips drop slightly, heart presses forward, exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Shoulders come nice and wide, so fingertips come nice and wide rather, and about in line with the shoulders. Inhale for a baby cobra or a cobra pose. Just keeping the fingers up, pressing the heart forward, and the tops of the feet press down to the mat. Exhale, fold. And this time slide the hands underneath the lower ribs, press the tops of the feet in, baby cobra. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Look between your hands. Rise up onto your tippy toes. Step or float to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down through the heels. Rise up through the fingertips. Breath in. Exhale, hands come wide. Interlace the fingers at the lower back. Press the palms together. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Release the bind, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step it back, high plank. Option to stay on the knees, option to keep the knees lifted this time, come forward. Exhale, lower halfway for an upward facing dog or all the way for your cobra. Breath in, back bend. If you're in up dog, lift the thighs, spiral the elbows in towards the center so you broaden through the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more round, take a full breath in. At the end of the exhale, step or float to the front of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Reaching all the way up, breath in. Hands come wide, breath out. Interlace the fingers, inhale, knuckles draw down. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale, release the bind. Exhale, step it back, high plank. Move through your vinyasa. Find that flow with the breath. And downward facing dog. Now this first round we're going to flow and we're going to feel into each of the poses without the binds, and then we're going to slow it down and feel into each bind. So we're going to start by reaching the right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Draw the knee in towards the chest, and can you draw the belly towards the spine, round through the shoulders, and using those deep belly muscles, lightly plant the foot between the hands. Rise up onto the fingertips, squeeze the thighs together, inhale, rise up to a crescent lunge. And this is just our normal crescent here. So all 10 toes pointing forward. Make sure you're rotating the left rib cage forward and plugging the right hip back. Feel that sinking into the front hip and perhaps a little bend through the back leg to find that length through the spine. Taking a full breath in, pinkies rotating in towards one another to establish that growing tall. And then as we exhale, we're going to lean forward, reach forward, sweep the arms by your side body, arrowhead. Make sure you're not fully leaning onto your front thigh. Pick your belly up off your thigh. Keep squeezing the legs together. Taking another full breath in. Full breath out. Beautiful. From here, plant your left hand onto the mat and peel your right arm up towards the sky for a revolved crescent lunge. Sink a little bit deeper into that left hip. Make sure your back toes are stacked on top of your heel. Your back heel is stacked on top of your toes, and your inner thigh of your back leg is spiraling up towards the sky. Take another full breath in. Full breath out. Can you twist a little deeper? Find that depth. And then as we exhale, we're going to open out to a warrior two. So ground the back foot down, stay deep in the front lunge, and open it up. Checking with the front knee. Make sure you can see your front two toes. And then feel your heels drawing together without actually moving your feet. So we're engaging the hamstrings, keeping the legs strong. Taking a full breath in. Full breath out. Start to lean forward, reach forward. Elbow to the thigh, circling the arm more forward and up for an extended side angle. Keep pressing the shoulder, that bottom shoulder, away from your ear. So you're engaging through the bottom shoulder. If you breathe space into the side ribs as you open the chest up towards the sky, rotate, rotate. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Step it back for a high plank. Move through vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Knee to chest, scoop it in. Using the deep abdominal muscles, see if you can plant the foot down. Rise onto the fingertips, come onto the back toes. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Hips are square. Slight bend through the back knee. And feel a bit of space growing through each side rib. And then as we exhale, start to sweep the arms forward and back, arrowhead. Keep the chest lifting, squeeze the shoulder blades together as we open through the shoulders here. Take another full breath in, and then breath out as we open into our warrior two. Ground down through the knife edge of the back foot. Cast your eyes back to your back hand and see what it's doing in space. Is it in line with your shoulder? From here, start to lean forward, reach forward, lunge into that front leg, elbow to the thigh, circle the arm in front and towards the front wall. Rotate the chest open as you sink a bit deeper through that front leg. Full breath in, full breath out. Slowly, slowly circle the arm back down towards the earth. Step back, high plank. Lower move through vinyasa. You can choose to skip vinyasa, meet in a downward facing dog. I'm just going to flow through that one time each side. Inhale, reach the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to chest. Plant the foot. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, arrowhead, sweep the arms back behind you. Inhale, opening up to your revolved crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lean forward, reach forward. Exhale, sweep the arms out in front. I might have forgotten one part in that, but that's okay. Sweeping the arms down, step it back. High plank, low plank. Reaching up, breath in, back bend. Downward facing dog. Let's try and do that properly on the left hand side. Reach the left leg up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Plant the foot down. Inhale, sweep it up, crescent lunge. Exhale, arrowhead, arms sweep by your side. Inhale, revolved crescent lunge. Twist. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lean forward, reach forward, belly on strong. Exhale, come into your extended side angle. On your inhale, circle the hand back down. As we exhale, move through vinyasa. Breath in, breath out. Let's do that one more time because I think I might have stuffed up one side. Inhale, reach the right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest. Plant the foot between the hands. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, arrowhead, sweep the arms back behind you. Inhale, revolved crescent lunge. Peel the right arm up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lean forward, reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, come back to your high plank transition. Exhale, vinyasa. Breath in, back bend. Breath out, down dog. Last round. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, arrowhead. Inhale, peel the left arm up, revolved. Exhale, warrior two. Lean forward, reach forward, elbow to thigh, sweep the arm out in front. As we inhale, start to circle the hand back down to the mat. Step back, exhale through vinyasa. Breath in, back bend. Downward facing dog. Worked a little bit harder than I expected. Taking a full breath in here and a full breath out. We're going to move through those same postures, but we're going to explore a few binds this time. So reach the right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Lift that heel a little bit higher, engage through the belly. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Plant the foot between the hands. Beautiful. To start off with, we rise up, crescent lunge. Sink a little bit deeper into that front leg. Keep drawing that hip back as you rotate left rib cage forward. Make sure your back heels are stacked on top of one another, keeping that back foot really active. Then as we exhale, we're going to sweep the arms forward, stay in the legs, and this time we interlace the fingers behind the back, just as we did in our warm-up session. So you're going to press the knuckles towards the back heel, keep reaching the heart forward, and maybe lift the finger knuckles away from the glutes. So you're lifting up to open through the shoulders for 3. For 2, always option to drop down to the knee. One more full breath in. Full breath out. On your inhale, release the bind. And you're going to place the left hand down on the mat. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. So you've got a half bind, full bind option. And you can have the knee lifted or the knee grounded. Sometimes I find when the knee's grounded, it's harder to actually get myself into a twist. So option A is to actually bring your left elbow to your outside of the right knee. Keep that arm straight and then peel the right arm up towards the sky. Option B is just flip your palm so it's facing the back wall, and then have the hand start to support the lower back, perhaps supporting the left hip crest, so that pointy part. Maybe you want to bend the right leg, left arm to meet the right fingertips. Do a full bind. Taking a full breath in here. Big twist out. Exhale. One more full breath in. Full breath out. Slowly, slowly releasing the bind. Open it all the way out to a warrior two. Straighten the front leg for a moment. Been in a lunge for a while. Come into a warrior two. Bend into the front leg. This time lean forward, reach forward. Elbow to the thigh. Sweep the arm out in front. Again, half bind or full bind is on offer here. So option A is to reach the left arm up towards the sky, flip the palm over so the palm's facing the back side wall. Then you're going to start to bend at that elbow and see if you can place the back of the hand onto the tailbone. Perhaps it starts to creep around to the right hip crease or the inner thigh. Option to stay here, keep lunging into that front leg and rotate the chest towards the sky. Option B is to bring the right hand down towards the mat. See if we can just deepen that lunge. Full bind option is to bend the right elbow around the front inner thigh and see if you can hook onto the fingertips. Rotating the chest towards the sky for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly release the bind down. Step it back, move through a vinyasa. Breath in, breath out. Taking a full round here. Full breath out. Nice strong section here. Reach the left leg up towards the sky. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Plant the foot between the hands. Inhale, reaching up. Crescent lunge. Exhale, sweep the arms forward. And again, option to drop to the back knee. You know it's a heavy sequence on the front leg. So interlace the fingers behind the back. Pull the knuckles towards the heels and the crown of the head forward. And then see if you can lift the knuckles away from the glutes so we open through the chest a bit more. Breathing here for 3. Find a strength and energy in your breath for 2. 1 more full breath in. Full breath out. Release your bind down. Drop the right hand to the sky, the left arm peels up. Again, this one can be quite intense. So start by just bringing the outside of the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. And this could be enough of a twist here. You can even stay, press the palms together and feel that twist. If you'd like a little bit more, start to flip the front palm of the left hand back. See if the back of the hand can touch the right hip crest. Either choose to stay here, or you can bend that right hand and see if your fingers might meet. Not sure if I've got it on this side. There we go. And keep pulling the chest forward, and the top shoulder is opening up towards the sky. 1 more full breath in. Explore the breath in this twist. Breath out. Slowly, slowly release it out. Warrior 2. Straighten that front leg for a moment. Shake it out, and then bend back into the front leg. The extended side angle. Lean forward, reach forward. Elbow to the thigh. Sweep the arm out in front, and this time reach the top hand to the sky. Option A, flip the palm. Back of the hand comes to the back of the left hip crest. Perhaps the fingers start to wrap around the inner thigh. Maybe we hold here. Maybe we come all the way, wrapping our left shoulder in front of the left knee. Keep rotating the chest towards the sky. Sink a little bit deeper into the hips. For 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly unpretzel yourself. Unwrap. Send it back. Move through a vinyasa. Beautiful. Take a full breath in here. Full breath out. Beautiful. From here, slowly, slowly, just start to walk your feet about half a step forward. Reach your right leg to the front of the room, and your back foot's at 45 degrees. So we're coming into our pyramid pose. So your front 10 toes are pointing forward and your back 10 toes are pointing just off to the side. Hands to the hips, suck the belly in. Inhale, reaching up. Another option for a bind here. You can keep the hands on the hips if we want to focus on the hamstrings, or you can interlace your elbows behind your back and hug the elbows together. Keep the belly on strong. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and we can fold forward from here. If you want to play, we can play with a reverse prayer. So make your hands, press your palms of your hands together at the back. Start with your fingers pointing down towards the mat. And then see if you can flip the fingers and press the heels of the hands together into a reverse prayer. Wherever at, whichever bind you choose, start to fold forward, hinging at the hips. Find that point of feedback in the hamstrings, in the forearms, in the shoulders. And at any point, if reverse prayer becomes a bit intense, you can release the bind, grab onto the elbows. Taking a full breath in. full breath out. One more full breath in. And then exhale, releasing the bind, just folding over the front leg, keeping the hips nice and square. Grounding down through both heels, both big toe mounds and both little toe mounds. And then from here, just pressing the left arm down towards the mat, bring the right hand to your hip. Then walk that hand so the heel of the palm, the hand is on the lower back, the fingers are pointing down. And then your elbow is going to twist towards the sky. So we come into a gentle twist in our pyramid pose. That right elbow is pointing up, up, up. Keep the crown of the head pulling forward. And keep drawing that right hip back into place. Take one more full breath in. Full breath out, slowly release it down. Step it back through your downward facing dog. Option to move through a vinyasa, or if you just want to switch legs, that's also fine. Wherever we're at, we're going to end up with the left foot pointing forward and a shorter stance for our pyramid pose. Back foot is 45 degrees. When you're ready, hands to the hips, inhale, coming to your triangle pose, or pyramid pose rather. And again, options for binds. So you can grab onto your opposite elbow this time. It's always one that feels slightly less fun or a bit more awkward. Or you can place the palms together, fingers pointing down, and then see if you can flip those fingers around, shimmy your way up into a reverse prayer. And keep the tailbone lengthening down as the crown of the head reaches up, hinging at the hips, we fold forward. And this is a very Ashtangi style pyramid pose. It's a great stretch through the shoulders, through the forearms, as well as the hamstrings. And again, when you've had enough of a reverse pyramid, if you need a break, just grab onto the elbows and fold. And with each inhale, feel your belly come up and over your thighs. And with each exhale, the crown of the head folds forward. Slowly release the binds down. Hands come to the mat. Right hand comes next to the left foot. You can come up onto the fingertips, and the left hand comes to the hip. From here, just shimmy the heel of the hand towards the lower back, fingers pointing down. And then we're just going to rotate the chest open towards the sky, elbows pointing up. And crown of the head reaches forward, and pull the left hip back towards the center for 3, 4, 2, and 1, slowly folding back down. And then step forward, fold down, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching up, reach tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, we're going to just step back into a tabletop position. So from our tabletop position, you're going to step your right foot back behind you, lift the back foot, bend the knee. I'm just going to start to draw a few circles with the hips. Drawing around and around. Draw that right hip nice and wide. Next time round goes really, really wide. Draw the knee in towards in between the hands and see if you can thread that right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Then you're going to sit back onto the heels, and we've made it into our cow face pose. So I will face you guys. So it is that pose where your knees are sort of edging towards one another, knife edges of the feet are grounding on the mat. If this is too much, simply just straighten that lower leg and have the foot on the outside of the left hand hugging the knee in. Whatever we choose to have. And then from here, we're just going to come back into that bind position that we did at the start of class. So this time you're going to reach the left arm up towards the sky, bend at the elbow, and then use the right hand to just nestle your left elbow a little bit further in towards the head. You can choose to stay here. You can choose to play with a full bind, wrapping the right arm back behind you. See if the fingers can meet from the bottom of your spine. And again, option to use a strap or a towel if you're not quite there. Breathing a bit of space into the chest here. Feeling a heaviness through the hips. And you can see how it feels to fold forward a little bit, how that intensifies through the hips and the shoulders. Slowly coming back up, releasing the binds. I'm going to unravel the legs. So you're going to lengthen out that bottom leg, and you're going to hug your right knee in towards your chest. And it's untwisted now, so your right foot is on the right side. And then from here, squeeze that knee to the side of the chest, so you're nestling it into your armpit almost. And then you're going to just reach both the arms forward. See if you can walk the left fingertip so far forward that you start to feel your shoulder coming in front of that shin. Then you're going to bend your right elbow and see how it feels to just come into a little half bind. See if you can maybe grab onto that meaty part of your thigh, that hip crest, not hip crest, the hip crease. And then you're going to walk your left fingertips out to this side. You can either choose to stay here, fold here, hinging at the hips, or you can bend the left elbow and see again if you can catch your fingers together. If you've got the full bind, come up for a little halfway lift, lift the chest. And then exhale, we're going to fold forward over that front thigh. So you'll feel this is a bit of a back body stretch, as well as a hamstring. Might get a bit of hips in there. If you wanted to really explore the full expression of this pose, you can see if your fingers might interlace around the left wrist for an even deeper bind. I'm going to stay right here because I feel comfortable enough in this stretch, or uncomfortable enough, however you want to put it. And slowly coming back up and gently releasing the binds without sort of slingshotting the arms. And just wiggle out the feet. Switching sides, hug the right knee in towards the chest. And we're going to come back into our little tabletop position so we can transition the same way that we came. And reach the right leg back behind you, draw the belly in. Bend the knee, start drawing some really nice wide circles with the hips, drawing all the way out, engaging those outer hip flexors, belly toxin strong. Inhale, exhale. Last round, nice wide circle. Then start to draw the knee, if you can, in between the hands, thread that foot all the way down, sit the hips down into our cow face pose, or Gomukhasana. Again, if that's intense, just lengthen out the bottom leg, so it'll be your right leg this time. See if we can feel the hip bones grounding. Lengthen the spine. Right arm reaches up this time, bend at the elbow. Left hand catches elbow, nestle it in. Your choice if you want to stay here, if you want to grab a strap. See how it feels to explore the full bind. Left fingertips reaching from the bottom up. See if you can keep the spine tall. Imagine that we're leaning against a straight wall behind us. And then from a nice lengthened spine, we start to fold forward if it feels okay. Holding here for about 5 breaths, wherever you are. Slowly coming back up to center. I'm going to just lengthen the legs out, and I'll show this from side on as well. So straightening out the right leg behind you, the left knee draws in towards the chest. Maybe that left heel shuffles fraction out to the side as you nestle your knee in towards your left shoulder. Right foot stays nice and active, so toes are flex up towards the sky. Bring the right arm out beside you and start to reach the left arm forward. See if you can walk those fingertips so far forward that your shoulder comes almost in line, if not further, in front of the front shin. Walk the foot out towards the side and then see if it's possible to maybe bend that leg. I'm going to grab onto that meaty part of my thigh and keep my chest folding forward. Either we stay here or see if we can bend that right arm and catch our fingertips together. Once we've got that bind, we're secure. Let's just realign, straighten the spine, pull the chest forward, right hip plugs back. Then from here we fold down. Obviously you may not get as far down as you would in a regular forward fold. And see if we can not round through the upper shoulders. So we keep leading forward with the chest. The heart is reaching for the toes. One more full breath in. Exhale as we fold a little deeper. About 3 more breaths here. Slowly coming back out, releasing the hands. Gonna shake the legs out. And we're just gonna make our way down onto the back body. Hug the knees in towards the chest. And there are so many different types of binds. We really only touch the surface today. And we should feel a nice opening through the shoulders. Perhaps we've explored a deeper sense of the body today. Maybe we've played with the boundaries of our alignment. Binds are an excellent way to pull us deeper into a pose. And the trick is we can only get there when we're ready, so patience is also the key. Let both knees fall across to the right hand side. Extend the left arm out in front. Gaze comes to the left. And with each exhale, just releasing the breath, releasing the expectations of how a shape needs to look, how a pose needs to look. Really acknowledging that it's about how these postures actually make us feel, rather than if they're yoga journal material. And perhaps binding empowers you to pull yourself a little bit deeper, to explore the crevices of your body, of your energy within your body. And perhaps binds maybe pull you out of the posture a bit, and we need to acknowledge that as well. Working with wherever you're at, slowly draw your knees back to chest. Switch it over. Both knees hugging in, right arm extends long. Whether we choose to bind or to not bind, it's about honouring your body and honouring your practice. Learning to recognise what serves you and what does not. And take one more full breath in. And extend the legs long. And start to set yourself up for your Shavasana. For this Shavasana, make sure that you just wiggle your shoulder blades a fraction further underneath you, so you're just opening through the shoulders, opening through that chest space. Gentle tuck of the chin towards the chest, just to allow the back of the neck to lengthen. And taking a full breath in, exhale, sigh down. And we release the need to breathe deeply now. And see if you can stay here for the rise and fall of your breath, about 10 times, maybe more if you've got time. See if you can hold on to this space, this idleness that we've created. And thank you very much for joining me today. And I will leave you here. Namaste.